Is 112 where you're going to be at for a while? You've jumped up and down.
You know, it's pretty much I go where the fights are at and what the people want to see. There's a lot of girls in different weight classes, and I think right now between 112 and 115, I think that's where it's at.
I normally don't ask women this question, but what do you walk around at?
You know, I usually walk around at 118, but I took a year off and I got a little bigger, so around 120, 125.
You fought at 108 last year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you don't want to go back down that low again?
It's way too small. Yeah, I'm a little too tall for that weight, and I was looking a little too thin.
Tell me about how necessary it is for someone in your position to have to keep on moving up and down just to get the big fights. Is it frustrating but necessary?
It's both, yeah. It's frustrating because you want to be able to stay at one class and hold the title for a long time, just like, you know, the men get to do. They hold it for a long time and then they go up. But as the women, we don't have that type of competition, so we jump up and down, get different titles. You know, I've already been in 3 different weight classes and won titles in them, so it's just kind of like up and down.
Who are you looking at then at 112 right now in terms of potential opponents?
You know, there's a girl in Germany at 112. I forgot her name actually, but there's lots of girls. There's not too many in the United States right now, but I think mainly Europe and Mexico. But right now it doesn't matter. I just want to fight.
Do you remember the start of the person's name or the further?
I think it's Susan.
Okay.
Susanna.
What is the purse difference when you're looking at fighting in Germany versus fighting, you know, somewhere like here in the United States or even in Mexico?
It's a big difference. The United States is sadly the worst place for women to fight, and we don't really have a fair chance here. Europe, the women get treated very well. Even in Mexico, you know, they're not looked at the same as we are over here, kind of like a sideshow or the beginning of a show. But in Mexico, we're main events, we're pay-per-view, we're main events on televised fights, and we get a lot of credit, but over here it's kind of hard. So money-wise, I mean, you're looking at maybe 4 or 5 times more than when you go away.
And I know that that's something that you and Claressa have been talking about a lot, is that kind of frustration. But how do you get that to change? Is it something that's just out of your control in this country?
Right now, it's just trying to find someone who's willing to put in, you know, and invest in one woman, maybe, just like the UFC did with Ronda. You know, just finding someone who's gonna uplift the women and make us all look really well, because a lot of us have a lot of talent that needs to be showcased, just like the men do. You know, but they're putting us lower down, saying that there's not enough women, and they're wrong. You know, the talent is great. There's lots of girls out here that are willing to fight, and I just think we just need someone to find those girls and put them together.
Who are you affiliated with promotionally right now?
Promotions Del Pueblo, but you know, it's coming to an end, and we're hoping that we can get our own thing started.
I'm sorry, I missed it. Who is the promoter?
Promotions Del Pueblo.
Okay.
Nighttime promotion.
Yeah.
Okay, so you talked about the pay in terms of other countries. How willing are you to travel right now, given the fact that you don't usually see American fighters go overseas a lot?
You know, I spent the last 4 years in Mexico, and I won't go back. This is the first time that I've fought in the United States in the last 4 years, and you know, it's an honor to fight, especially in Washington D.C., you know, the capital. But they don't know the differences, and you see them when you get ready for the fight, not during the fight. You know, fighters are fighters, but it's the things that they put you through before the fight that make the difference. You know, you're not fighting a fighter, you're fighting a whole country. You know, I've walked into rings and been spat at. We've had things thrown at us before a fight. Having unfair treatment with our wraps and the way that they put their body armor on. Like, everything is different.
Are you expecting a similar kind of thing then if you went to Europe to fight in those fights?
I assume so. I mean, you're fighting their country, countrywoman.
So in terms of money, you're willing to take short money given the treatment that you'll get here as compared to getting the money that you feel you might deserve overseas?
I think the plan that I have is to build something here.
Okay.
I want to continue to fight here and showcase my talent. I think right now that's what the United States needs is a woman to stay here and build something up, you know, instead of keep moving. And, you know, I've been to Mexico so much that everyone knows me in Mexico, but who am I here? I'm nobody. So now it's time for that to change, and I think I'm willing to take a cut now to make a bigger step later, because I think I can do it.
Were you encouraged at all by the coverage that the U.S. Women's Olympic team got in the last Olympic cycle, and do you think that there is is potential growth there as we continue to develop an amateur program for women in the United States that gets more attention?
Definitely. I think, just like the men, when you start amateur, the big goal is to either go to the Olympics and then win a world title. I think the women want the same thing. And the more that you advertise and promote women and amateurs, the more that they'll want to progress and go to the professionals. So either way, I don't think you lose with that.
So for fight fans who still think of female boxing as, being the, Christy Martin, the Layla Ali, the Mia St. John, what do you want them to know?
Those girls are the past, and people have to realize that, Layla Ali is gone. I can't tell you how many times I go out and people are like, when are you fighting Layla Ali? And I'm thinking, you know how long ago she retired and how big she is?
Yeah.
It's
only had you by 50 pounds.
It's time.
More than that, bro.
and that's a big reason why things need to change. People need to see the women, and they need to know that we're here and we're fighting and we're all different sizes. I know the girls that more talent is the smaller sizes now, and we fight just as great. Just like tonight, I boxed my butt off. So I think it's time for change.
Similarly, for the talent that Cliff was talking about, like the Marlon Esparzas and the Claressa Shields of the world, what kind of advice would you give them in terms of what to do with their career? To stay amateur or to go pro right now?
I think it's up to them. Whatever they want to do with their careers is whatever they feel is best for themselves. But at the end goal, winning an Olympic medal is great. Claressa has done awesome. She's a great fighter. She's explosive. I think if she doesn't win the next gold, which I think she will, turning pro will be great for her to go on and win 2 gold medals and go on to win a world title. Like, what man can say that they won 2 gold medals and a world title?
And if people watch her, then potentially they could end up watching you down the line.
Yeah, exactly. Or vice versa. Winning world titles, and then we'll watch the amateurs. Let's bring them both out.
Last question, guys.
So, thank you very much.
Good. Thank you so much.